God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. So just maybe the things that we call bad, God's not really calling it bad at all. How do I know this? Because his word says so. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Let's keep it 100. Let's be honest. When you're in the beginning of your walk, you're beginning to learn how to trust God and you're beginning to learn how to have faith in God that will later turn into trust. But this message is also for those who've been walking with God for a long time. Maybe you're tired and you're weary, and Satan, the enemy, just has been speaking things to you and you're believing them because you're vulnerable. So whether you're in the beginning or you've been walking for a long time, the both of us, we might just be doubting God for one reason or another. Either way, what we experience, in fact, feels painful, right? But it doesn't mean that it's bad. I remember the Holy Spirit giving me this visual that I will never forget. It literally changed how I look at bad things. And he put it in my head. I'm a mom, and so he gave me the visual of me pulling a bandage off of my daughter's arm. So my daughter knows that it's gonna hurt a little bit, right? But she knows that I'm not trying to hurt her. And when I pull it off, it might hurt for a little bit and she might scream or cry out. But once the bandage is removed, the pain becomes less and less, and eventually it goes away. And then she looks back and realizes the importance of that fresh air getting in there so that the wound can heal properly. And so when I look at that analogy and apply it to the so-called bad things that I'm experiencing, I begin to understand God more. I begin to develop an intimate understanding of why he allows certain things and why the things that I'm calling bad are not in fact bad at all. Okay. I felt like that was like boo boo, like, yep, go ahead and boop. That was for whoever needed that. And so moving forward, when I take that analogy, I see it in my mind every time I see the bandage, and I'm like, he's not trying to hurt me. He's not trying to harm me, right? I think of Jeremiah 29:11, and I just put myself in his shoes, like as a mom, as the father, and my mindset is completely shifted. And so when that doubt comes in, this analogy helps to level out and keep my mind laser focused on the truth of God and not the distractions and the lies that are surrounding me. When I look back from the beginning of my walk with God, rededicating my life to him and being filled with the Holy Spirit, I've had more than two handfuls, like 2 handfuls, 2 feet full. I've had a lot of experiences that I called bad. And by definition, that is how I felt in the moment, right? The pain is real. These experiences, they felt evil, they felt merciless, they felt just downright, ugh, right? Like, just why? Like, had a level of cruelty to it, and it made me question, like, God. It made me question him, like, why would he allow this? But little did I know, what was meant to take me out, what was meant to break me down, what was meant to push me away from God was actually pushing me towards him. I was leaning on him. I was like in his chest and just all up on him more than I could ever do, or more than I was ever doing prior to this so-called bad experience. And at the same time, it was revealing things that I needed to work on. And more importantly, it was revealing God's might and his mercy and grace towards me and towards all of us. He showed up in so many different ways. His love, his presence, his comfort, his understanding and forgiveness. As I'm living and experiencing these things that I'm calling bad, I'm actually learning God's character. And from these experiences, as I continue to go on this walk, because I'm not going anywhere, I am beginning to develop this deep level of trust and faith in him, because I know He did it before, and he's going to continue to do it again. Maybe you've heard this before, but what is the point of God if everything is perfect? We can't forget that we live in a fallen world. We live in a world that's filled with sin, right? And it's not because of it is because of our doing. It's not because of God's doing. It's because of us. It's because of what we decided to do. And when I mean us, I mean Adam and Eve. Going back to the story of creation, going back to Genesis. And so if we are actively, constantly seeking God, our heart is turned towards him, we're learning to know him, then we know that in all things, God works for good. And that alone should crush any doubt or fears. Now, I'll be honest, you're going to have to keep repeating this to yourself over and over. You might have to put it there and put it there and put it on your phone. But consistency is key. You're retraining, or he is retraining the mind. You are the one on the ground doing the work to consistently and repeatedly tell yourself the truth that God is telling you. I remember a few years ago receiving some devastating news, and not just the news, but actions that followed from that news, the things that continuously was happening. It was literally meant to destroy me. It was meant to take me down by the ankles, the knees, like it was meant to slaughter me. It really was. But God is so perfect, and his timing is impeccable, because a month before this news, I decided to give my life to God. I decided I want to know the truth. I'm tired of doing it my way. I am seeking you. And he scooped me up and was like, okay. And so I was walking with him for just a few months before I received this news, and my entire life as it knew completely changed. And even though it was just a few months before, he was actively guiding me through, like he was walking me through what to do. And so now that I'm on the other side of that, I'm still dealing with some residuals of that. But as far as the spiritual battle or the overcoming the destruction and all of that, I'm on the other side of that. So I'm rebuilding my life with God this time. And so I can clearly see when I look at this Goliath, this mountain that happened to me, I can see the pain, right? Like it's very obvious that was very painful. But I can also see how God was pulling the bandage off. Oh my God. Think of the toughest thing that you've ever had to experience. And if you're not already on the other side, just ask God to help you see what your human eyes can't see. Because I'm telling you, if your heart is towards God and you're seeking him with everything, I'm not talking about, I'm reading the Bible day and night and I go to church on Sunday. No, I mean, what does your intimate relationship with God looks like? How deep are you with him as your Father? So if you're going through something right now, I want you to ask those questions to God. Right? If you're on the other side and you can't quite figure out what was the point of that, I want you to ask God those same questions. What was I supposed to learn here? But I guarantee you, if you're on the other side and you're actively seeking God, you already know the answer, right? You already know he had to allow that hard thing to happen because he was moving you from something that you probably had no business with in the first place. Or perhaps he was exposing you so that you can heal properly. Whatever it is, you're going to be able to see that what you were enduring or what you're enduring right now, it's not in vain. God is actively moving and doing something miraculous. And if you just stick with him, if you just continue to follow his instructions, you're going to be able to see. For me, he was setting me free. That rip off hurt like a... but he was setting me free. And so when I look at any situation, just say for this particular thing, if I didn't understand why I went through it, I could take what's being said into this video and I can look at it and say, you were setting me free from something. You were delivering me from something. You were showing me something. And so when that doubt creeps in, like, oh, God is punishing you, or God is a cruel entity and he's watching you suffer, you can hush those doubts. because there's purpose in everything that God does. And just to add to that, when I look back, I can see that God is so amazing. He knows just how much you can handle. Because for me, he knew that I could not handle just ripping that bandage off. And because of his love and his mercy and his grace for us, he did it in such a way that hurt, but it didn't take me out. And so in some cases, maybe the bandage does come straight off. And actually, sitting here right now, I can say sometimes that bandage it just gets ripped off, and it is what it is. But God is a loving Father, and he can see I need to be more gentle here. We need to take it very slow. It's going to be painful, but I need to take it slow. And then other times we need to just go ahead and rip that thing off and get this out of the way because it's standing in my way. In his way, right? Yah's way. And another layer to that, this is like a beautiful cake, right? To remember, this mountain happened because of my doing. The things that I was participating in, the choices I made before I gave my life to God, he is helping me clean up this mess. Now, at the time of living in it, I didn't know it was a mess. But now that I have accepted God and accepted him in his entirety, and I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, but I can look back and see that I contributed to this mess. This was my mess. And now that I'm walking with the Father, now that he's cleansing me, he has to fix this up. He doesn't have to, but he chooses to, right? Because he loves us. And we were created in his image. And so when we're out here living life like we want to live it, we're not living in his image. We're not, we are not mirroring his image. And so when we come to him to be cleansed, to be reborn, then that's what he does. He's a cleaner. So all of these layers are just helping my faith increase. It's developing my intimate relationship with God because I'm seeing all of these different layers as all of these opportunities on how much he loves me, the mercy that he has given me, right? And so when that doubt comes in, you look at that beautiful 3, 4, 6 layered cake and you're like, he's done this is why, and this, and that doubt begins to fade. And that fear just begins to completely disappear. And again, it might take you every single time. You might have to repeat this and have this conversation in your mind 20 to 50 times a day. That's just being honest. When you're at the beginning and you're trying to overcome something, you may have to say God's truth that many times a day, if more sometimes. I'm just keeping it real. So I don't know if you are going through something today in this moment, I know I am, that feels like it is ripping you apart. But I want to remind you that if you love God and if you are seeking him with all of your heart, I want you to remember Romans 8:28. It's not just words in a book. It's the living book from a living God. And he wants to do something miraculous in your life today or any day. He wants to clean you up. Yes, it might hurt a little bit, but that pain does not last forever. The season that you're in right now, or that you were in when you look back, it wasn't a permanent situation. It was a passing through. And I just want to remind somebody today that it doesn't matter how you ended up in your mess, whatever you're going through, your experience, your situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you contributed to it. It doesn't matter if God's just allowing it to teach you something in this particular moment. What matters is that if you seek him with all of your heart, he is going to show you the way out. He's going to do it according to his will. And if you choose to fully surrender to him, because believe me, I look back and I tried it my way, right? I'm done trying it my way. Are you done trying it to your way? When you fully surrender to him, he's going to lead you to the path of righteousness. He's going to lead you the way out. You're not going to have to go through unnecessary mess. And I say unnecessary because we live in a fallen world, right? Things are going to happen. But why would you want to add on to things that are already going to happen? I don't have it all figured out. None of us do, no matter how long we've been walking with God. But what I do know is that when we submit to God, when we submit to his will, his word, and his way. And so if we remain submitted to him, he sees when we are trying our best. And he also sees when we're not, when we're making excuses. But my whole point is that try your best. He sees you. Don't compare yourself to somebody else's walk. Be open and honest with God. I promise you he can handle it. He's not fragile. And the last thing that I want to say that I'm learning as I read my word and as I'm just learning from my own experience is that obedience is more important than anything else. What did he tell you to do? And don't worry if you feel like, what if I don't hear right? Or what if I do something and I thought it was God and it wasn't? Don't worry. He sees that. He already knows. He's a loving father and he'll redirect you. Just keep coming to him. Keep your heart turned towards him. So remember that bad thing or that series of bad events that happened or that are happening right now just might be the thing that God uses to deliver you, to heal you, to deliver somebody else, to heal somebody else, and you at the same time. It might be the thing he uses to free you. I know that's what he did for me, and I'm nobody special. So I know that he will do it for you. And I mean, I am special. So are you. We're special to him, but you know what I'm saying. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.